Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, our journey to self-realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring Srimad Bhagavad Gita, commentaries by my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. Today we will be studying chapter 17, shloka number 19. Lord Krishna continues to guide Arjuna about the three states of sattva, rajas, and tamas. In this shloka, Mood grahenatmano yat pidaya kriyate tapaha parasyotsādanārtham vā tattamas mudahritam. Austerity, which is practiced with dullness, foolishness, and obstinacy, inflicting self torture and pain in others, is considered tamasic or dull. So, the prayers and austerity and tapasya should be sattvic in nature, not rajasic or tamasic. Because tamasic tapasya, even though people do a lot of torture to their body, they give discomfort, they stand on one leg, etc., while that out externally it may look like a lot of self discipline and how much penance they are doing, but internally Lord Krishna is not appreciative of that. He is saying because that austerity is practiced with dullness and the intent matters a lot. When it's done with purity, it becomes sattvic. The same thought, when it becomes destructive or wants to harm somebody, it becomes tamasic in nature. So here Lord is saying the same thing, that even austerity can be tamasic. So it's important that we understand the differences, the nuances between these three gunas. Continuing on to shloka 20, दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयते नूपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्. The gift which is given with a spirit of charity, without expecting anything in return, with proper considerations given to the time, place, and the recipient, is sattvic. So, when we are doing dana, this is about charity. So, when we give charity, it should be done with no expectation, not even a thank you. Obviously, people do thank you, but we should not expect it as the outcome of our charity or anything in return for that matter. And also the time and place has to be considered on appropriate occasions, and when that charity is given to the needy, it becomes very powerful, and so that charity is sattvic or pure. Shloka number 21, yattu pratyupakarartham falamudrishya va punaha diyate cha pariklishtam taddanam rajasam smritam. But an act of charity that is done with the expectation of a return, or with the hope of a future gain, or with a painful feeling, is considered to be rajasic. Rajasic is worldly. So, like worldly people, when we give something, there is this subtle desire that we also get something back, and that is not an ideal way to be doing charity, and not to expect a future gain or anything. If we do that, then it is considered rajasic, as Lord Krishna is clearly pointing out, because there is expectation of a return. So it becomes worldly, it becomes we are desiring the fruit. So that's why it's rajasic. But if there is no desire, you're simply giving to a needy and you move on your way, that is considered sattvic. And then now tamasic, God continues, 22 shloka, अदेशकाले यद्दानं पात्रेभ्यश्च दीयते असत्कृत bhavagyatam tattamasamudahritam. That charity which is done in an improper place, at an improper time, to an unworthy person, without respect and with insult, is said to be tamasic. So that is what becomes tamasic, when we are rude, we give it in anger, we give some money or throw money at a beggar's face in anger and say, don't show me your face again. Those kind of things, they become impure. Better not to do it if you're going to do it with that much arrogance and pride. So that's what Lord Krishna is saying. And also, to do things at an improper time and improper place also is very important. It has to be, everything is appreciated when it is done in the proper time and place, at a proper occasion, and with respect. So if we do without respect, and we do it with insult, and we do it, give it to an unworthy person also, that's important. If the person you know is addicted, and he's going to just waste that money or throw it away or do something wrong with it, then it is our moral duty to not give that charity to that unworthy person. It's better to give it to a person where, or to an organization that you know is doing genuine good to people. So that's what Lord Krishna is saying. With this, we conclude this chapter uh, number. No, actually, we will continue this. We'll conclude it on shloka number 28. So we are currently on 22. So let's continue. Lord Krishna says, um, shloka number 23. Om Tatsadati Nirdesho Brahmanastrividah Smritaha Brahmanastena Vedascha Yagyascha Vihita Pura. Om Tat Sat. This is our daily way to greet each other. Om Tat Sat. These are the threefold designations of Brahman, the absolute self. So we pick this up from our Gurudev, Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj. As you can see, it is in the Bhagavad Gita. It comes in at the conclusion of every chapter, and there's a whole separate video I have done on Om Tat Sat, the deeper meaning itself. So if you look into that, you will get into the depth of why we say Om Tat Sat instead of hello, hi, or namaste. All those are okay, but Om Tat Sat is remembering God all the time in the deepest possible way. So these are the threefold designations of Brahman, the absolute self. It is by the absolute self that the Brahmanas, or knowers of Brahman, the Vedas and the sacrifices or sacrificial rites, were created at the beginning of creation. So, this is what God is further elaborating, that these designations of Om Tat Sat, representing the absolute self, were created from the very beginning. God is timeless. The world, many world systems continue to come out and go back into that divine consciousness. So, chapter shloka number 24. Tasmado इत्युदाहृत्य यज्ञदानतपः क्रियाः प्रवर्तन्ते विधानोक्ताः सततं ब्रह्मवादिनाम्. Therefore, the seekers of Brahman commence sacrifice, charity, austerity, and other similar acts enjoined by the scriptures, with the utterance of Om, by invoking the absolute self. So, the first thing we are doing is invoking Om. And how do we do that? By purity, with clearly invoking Brahman, the absolute consciousness, the one God. And then we continue to do acts that represent our tapasya, our sacrifice, charity, dana, austerity, tapasya, tapas, and other similar acts that will take us on the journey to liberation, which is what our non-profit is all about. Um, and the teachings are about integral yoga, the ways by which we achieve that state. Shloka 25. तदित्यनभिसन्धाय फलं यज्ञतपः क्रियाः दानक्रियाश्च विविधाः क्रियन्ते मोक्षकाङ्क्षिभिः. Aspirants desirous of liberation perform the acts of self sacrifice, austerity, and charity with the utterance of that. That means tat, that is tat, that by remembering God in the spirit of surrender to Him. Om Tat, the transcendental self, and without expecting any reward, any offering to the absolute self. So, this path of liberation is one of without fruit expectation, simply being an instrument in God's plan, and that is why it's called Nishkamya Karma. So, that is the meaning of Tat in Om. Shloka 26. सद्भावे साधुभावे च सादित्येत्य प्रयुज्यते प्रशस्ते कर्मणि तथा सच्छद्धः पार्थ युज्यते. O Arjuna, Sat or truth is practiced with the attitude of reality and goodness. And also, O Partha, O Arjuna, Sat refers to auspiciousness and praiseworthy actions. So, therefore, the three words Om, which is the all pervading Brahman, Tat means that, the timeless Brahman through which creation and dissolution occurs, and Sat is the eternal truth, the truth through which all creation comes out of. Therefore, all worthy things are called Sat. Satsang, association of the truth, is Satsang, one of the gatekeepers to the palace of liberation that all the sages and saints and scriptures talk so highly about. And Satsankalpa, firm resolve of goodness. So, Sat means good, auspicious, truth, dharma. Therefore, the meaning of this deep word Sat. Shloka number 27 we will cover in tomorrow's Satsanga. Hari Om Tat Sat.